This program contains profanity and actual opinions and does not comply with the Rothingham Code for Media. Listen at your own risk. This PSA was brought to you by the Rothingham Department of Communication.
This is Radio Rothingham.
Right, so it's been a while, but here is yet again a new episode of Radio Rothingham. We're back from the dead, and all of us are here. So say hello.
Yo.
Oh, that was very enthusiastic. I'm so impressed.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yar, brains. I'm a zombie.
Apparently you
brains.
are. Yes.
Die,
So yeah,
love you.
after a hiatus, I can't speak for some reason. We are here to give you a new episode of Radio Rothingham for all our 0.2 subscribers. So
Give? I thought we were taking money for this.
no, sorry, it's all for experience and exposure.
Blah.
I thought you knew.
Are we not internet famous yet?
You never tell me these things, Artrix.
Yeah,
Very upset.
I sort of forgot to tell you. I'm terribly sorry. So yeah, we're here to bring you a new episode, and let's just get started. So yeah, apparently we now live in the future. So
That's
the fact has been the future is one day old now. Because
Yeah.
today is the 22nd of October 2015.
We live
And
in
as
the
we all
future
know-
of the future.
Yeah, and we all know that the future was yesterday. So yeah, how does it feel to be living in the future?
Well, I really like my flying car.
Me too. It's really convenient to go to the grocery store down in Luxembourg in Germany because it's cheaper. And thanks to a flying car, it's really, really easy to get there now.
But you gotta be careful.
Mhm.
If you ever float around and hover anywhere near the Russia-Ukraine border, you just get shot down. It
Yeah,
just happens.
it happened. So
It's
that's
like you're just going down the street for groceries, and you happen to go near the Ukrainian border, and surface to air missile.
Yeah, luckily they updated the firmware of most of the cars that are sold these days, and the firmware is being upgraded to make the cars not go anywhere near Ukraine. It's like, and even if you try and go there, it's like warning. This is a war zone. You should sort of not go
Actually,
here.
no, Artrix. The truth is that only happens in the testing environment. When they take the cars outside of the testing environment, that firmware turns off.
Oh,
Yeah, it just turns right off, and this was especially prominent with Volkswagens.
yeah. They did some meddling with those, I suppose.
Yeah, they wanted all their cars to pass the safety tests, but once they're out in the field, working software is just too expensive to maintain. So you just turn it all off.
Come on, who buys Volkswagens? They all speak in German.
Did that too. You get into the flying cars and they're like Guten Tag, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I entrust my safety to this car that I don't even understand. I mean, you gotta be able to communicate with the car, and if the car's like speaking German to you, then you're like, this isn't going to work, car. I don't think this is going to work.
That's why they all installed the very modern, futuristic Google voice-to-speech translation engine.
Oh,
So you will say to your car, let's go to the shops, and it will immediately be translated to German in the perfect way that Google Translate does, and immediately bring you to Auschwitz.
okay. Well, that sounds like a sensible thing to do. I mean, that's totally normal. Also, isn't Auschwitz in fucking Poland these days, or was there a teeny?
These days it's in Poland. Yes.
Look, Artrix, it's the future. You can't expect the translation software to actually work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also be careful when you're going shopping for juice.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That's It's kind of clever.
It's a joke.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's a clever joke. You clever person, you. Who's clever?
Yay.
So yeah, it's officially the future now. To be honest, I don't really feel any difference. It's much like, the same as it was yesterday. So I guess the future is kind of a really gradual process. Except that, 2 days ago it was all like the past.
Well, we do have to take days like this and look at all the majestic things human society has done since the 1980s, when our lovely prediction of the future was made.
Well, they actually did manage to predict a bunch of things.
Yeah, we still wear shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they predicted there'd be a Star Wars movie this year.
Wait, they actually did that in Back to the Future?
I'm pretty sure on the movie theater where the giant Jaws shark popped out of the wall, there was a poster for Star Wars.
Okay, I can't remember that, but
Or at
I
least
looked that up.
I'll take your word for it.
I don't think there should be a fourth Star Wars movie.
But then again, that was Jaws. That was Jaws 19, I think. The best Jaws movie of the year.
No, it was Jaws 10.
No, it was in Back to the Future. It was Jaws.
19.
Yeah. Also, obviously, I'm now going to draw the best version of Doc and Marty. I
Jaws
mean
19.
Rick and Morty.
Well, even looking at that scene with the giant holographic billboard shark, we have holographic projectors, and we could put them in public like that.
And we know what sharks look like.
Yeah, we do know what sharks look like these days. In fact, if they were to make a giant hologram projector of Jaws today and stick it on a cinema, it would probably look pretty freaking awesome. It would look a lot better than it did in Back to the Future.
Yeah, the shark in Back to the Future looked pretty ridiculous.
That was some 1980s
CGI.
polygon technology.
It was done with the inferior technology Artrix.
Well, to be fair, they probably realized that real time, the holographic rendering would not look as advanced as the 3D graphics they were capable of back in the day, and even for 1980 standards,
No, dude, that Jaws was pretty much the pinnacle of 1980s graphics technology.
No, I disagree, because in that time there was one movie that had the best CGI, like that was CGI that's even revolutionary compared to the CGI we do today. Like the guys at Pixar, they look at it and they're like, holy shit, we are so behind the times. And that is the opening sequence from Felix the Cat. It was the most amazing CGI sequence I've ever seen. I mean, to elaborate, the movie starts out with what is essentially an orb with 2 ears attached to it. I'm drawing it in the stream right now. It was the most eerie looking thing I've seen in a long time.
I feel strangely drawn to find the intro on YouTube, which I have just done.
Mm-hmm. I think it looked something like this.
Enjoy your eternal damnation.
I don't think this is the movie intro. I think it was just the cartoon intro, because it was just Felix the cat head in.
You specifically have to look for the movie intro.
I think I found it.
It was the most. Anyways, it was the most.
I think
One
this
of the
is it.
weirdest openings to a movie I've ever seen. Because that 3D, that CGI scene was completely useless and didn't add anything to the movie. It was just there to show, look, we can do CGI.
Is that it? Because I think I found it.
Yeah, it's just the head.
Yeah, it's just a head floating in space,
Oh my god.
telling the audience, "You are watching a movie now."
Oh my god. If
I
it
can-
wasn't if it wasn't for this head, I wouldn't even know what I'm doing.
You can count the polygons, guys. You can count the polygons.
Oh, I
But-
can imagine the
but-
lip syncing on that. It's just like
But Panboy,
More lip syncing.
the lip syncing was fucking amazing.
Those,
Really?
oh, no,
Yeah.
those lips are separately drawn.
It's a
Really?
it's a very complicated type
I'll-
of lip syncing, also known as the
I'm
Pac-Man
not
method.
saying YouTube this.
Yeah, no, those lips were rendered separately and superimposed on that 3D model.
Wait,
Dirt.
they were.
Yes.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
that
tell.
was just the texture that was moving. It wasn't like they drew that in post production or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it's in post.
I think it's a texture on the model that they, but it still looks like shit because there's no
Depth.
it's just a fucking texture on an object that looks like a computer could render that real time, by which I mean a computer back then in the 80s.
Found it.
Probably could, but Artrix, I'm pretty sure that's both newer and worse than the shark in Jaws. Because do you know what? The shark in Back to the Future at least changed shape.
Oh god, I hear it in background.
Jeez.
Please don't.
And I see you are making a fantastic render of it right now.
Yes.
Wow, those lip syncing.
His render is better than the original.
Even worse than fucking tweeting in Flash. Wow.
It looks worse than shitty Newgrounds Flash animations.
Newgrounds is advanced.
Too advanced for me, bro. Too advanced.
It's not stupid. It's advanced.
Exactly.
Everything will everyone. Yay.
Okay, so do any of you have a topic other than the fact that we are now living in the future to discuss?
Well, I have, but it's like 2 months old because you banned half us to even do a stream.
Yeah, well, I've been either busy with work or been really, really lazy.
You're an artist.
I've-
You cannot
so you
be
could-
busy with work.
So, in other words, I've been really lazy with work.
Yes, exactly. That's what it means when you say about someone that he's an artist.
I mean, I was so busy with work that I was really lazy. Anyways,
I was very busy with work myself this weekend.
oh god.
Yes, I
Oh.
believe you.
I did the most sophisticated thing a person looking for work could possibly do.
Okay, so tell us the amazing story of how you went in search for a job.
He went to a place.
I went to what they call a jobs fair.
Oh god.
Oh.
This was apparently the biggest jobs exposition in Ireland, and it's a yearly thing. They do this over and over again.
So
So,
you have one chance in a year to get a job.
Yes, well, at this particular expo. But so I go to the expo, right? It takes me a while to find it. It's in Croke Park in Dublin, which is a big it's a football stadium.
Blech.
Okay, but they have a conference center at one end. So I eventually find it. The GPS brought me to the wrong side of the stadium. It was like, oh great, the door's at the other side. That's just a peach.
It's
So
like, yeah.
The day started off great, and this was after reminding me of just exactly why I love public transportation. Because I went to the bus stop when a bus was due, right? And then no buses came until the next one was due. So that's basically typical buses in Ireland. Great. So what would usually take me on my bicycle, I really should have cycled. A half hour to 45-minute commute was now stretched out to about 2.5 hours. So, because I didn't really know where I was going, honestly. It was at a football stadium. That's where sports happen. Why would I know where to
Well,
find
business is a sport, or I guess.
So I get to the stadium. I figure out I'm at the wrong side. Wander around to the right side. Find the entrance. Look at the very, very expensive football jerseys. Say, why would anyone spend €70 on a jersey that's only good for one season? And I go inside. And I was like, okay, this is the Jobs Expo. Then no. There's like, wait, no. Actually, you have to go down this lift. I was like, okay, so everyone who's going to this Jobs Expo is being funneled down this one corridor into this one small lift.
Wow.
Okay, fine, great. So I just thought that was odd, because it was weird. So I get to the expo and I'm expecting a big conference hall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really in the big conference hall. It was kind of in the corridor between conference halls.
Okay, it sounds good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a corridor that's that's wide enough. There's enough space for there to be a bunch of booths on the right, a bunch of booths on the left. Actually, there was two in the corridor. There was space enough for 2 aisles full of booths.
Mm-hmm.
And altogether, I'd say there was about 20.
Okay.
20 individual booths at this the biggest jobs expo in the country.
Wow.
Okay, that's great.
Wow, there's 20 booths in the national job expo in all of Ireland. That's quite telling of
No.
the current state of the Irish economy.
So the first booth that catches my eye as someone who's trying to get into work and start a career is an internship booth. Eh? Like, okay, we'll give you internships. You can go abroad, work in France, Germany, Mexico, wherever they need slave labor. I mean, legitimate employment. Like, okay, so I go up to the booth. And
Try Bolivia.
she's like, okay, so do you have a level 5 or 6 college degree? I was like, I've got better, lady. I have a level 7. How's that? And then she looks at me and says, no. Like, what? No, you're too smart. So I just want a job. Yeah, but you're too smart. You can't have jobs. Jobs are for dumb people. I was very confused.
If you want me, I'm gonna do stupid jobs.
So straight away, due to being qualified, I have eliminated a 20th of what this expo has to offer me.
Okay.
Right, that's fine. There's plenty more fish in the sea, exactly 19 in fact. So I wander around a bit, and then I realize that like the entire left side of the expo is just emergency services.
Oh, jeez.
And they've used boot space for like CPR demonstrations and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm IT and I'm small. I'm not going to be an emergency responder.
You will have a promising career as a stunt double when they are doing those things.
Or you could be the CPR dummy.
So,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, true, I could. So that eliminated another third of the conference. Like,
You are down to 9 booths.
yeah. So then at the opposite to the, just opposite the emergency responders, there was what they call a virtual expos booth. I was like, okay, what's all this then? And then they're like, we're a recruitment agency. I was like, okay, cool. So what kind of jobs have you got on offer? It's like, none yet.
They have virtual jobs.
Good
Yeah, I was
job.
like-
Except
like,
there's
oh.
none.
Okay, so what are you offering right now? And they're like, we will be offering jobs once we've opened. It's like, do you want to sign up here? I was like, right, okay. Here's my details. Sign me up to whatever nonsense you guys are going to do. But they did offer something interesting, or might offer something interesting when they actually exist at some point in the future, which we're in now, by the way. This is the future.
Yeah, man. That's correct.
So they were like, okay, so what we're going to offer is a more personalized job-seeking experience.
Oh god. God.
I'm okay. Okay, so that was a list of buzzwords. What do you actually mean? And I was like, okay, instead of you just dropping your CV on 50 companies on the internet, what will happen is people who apply through this will get 10-minute interviews over a chat room with people on the internet.
Oh my.
With prospective employers. So you basically have to talk to people. So they're kind of just cutting out the whole CV portion of applying for shit online and just making you talk directly to the company instead of looking for staff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll take it, but I don't know how well that's going to do. It is actually, I think it's an okay concept that I think will fall flat on its ass as soon as it starts. Because scheduling people over the internet never works. It just doesn't, because people go to the toilet. Or get distracted by RedTube. No.
And then go to the toilet.
Or both.
Yes, at the same time.
With their tablet.
Yeah.
Because you know we live in the future, so you can actually do that. Because imagine that you are in the 80s and you wanted to do that. Then, for one thing, there's no high-speed internet. I mean, the internet, as we know it, barely exists, and well, computers weren't exactly very portable.
You'd have to take your entire TV with you.
You'd have to take an entire building with you. Like it was easier to put your toilet inside a computer than.
I can see it now that you're on your tablet and you're on the toilet. Half of you are dressed up to do the interview, like tie, suits, and the other half is just shorts around your ankles, taking a giant shit.
Don't be silly, Astra. You're sitting there in your job interview on the toilet, chatting to a representative while watching busty French maids go down on each other.
Well, that's how you know you live in the future.
Yep.
You can do that. It's now physically possible.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope nobody from Virtual Expos hears this interview.
I hope everybody does, and they take many great ideas from it.
Alright.
Well, at least you don't have to submit a CV these days, so yeah, they won't see that you're a host on Radio Rothingham, implying that you put that on your CV. But
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great business opportunity. Like, they see it and they're like, fuck yeah.
Well, we are an international company of sorts.
Exactly. You can say, I work for a multinational cyber internet capital venture online business, and some other buzzwords. And it's a company with great synergy.
That's true. We are all sinners.
Yeah, so it's a company with great synergy and online business solutions to engage.
You're just throwing them in there now, aren't you?
To engage in online customer engagement, to
Evidently,
deliver
Artrix
content.
Has just opened the Internet Buzzwords Manifesto.
It's fucking great. once you distill all these business mission statements, it just becomes ridiculous. I mean, what's his face? Weird made this entire song with nothing but business mission statements, and it just sounds fucking ridiculous.
So, I really, that was all the notable things that happened at the Jobs Expo. I talked to 2 other recruitment agencies, gave them my CV, and saw a how to make your CV pop expo or seminar.
Oh.
And they basically just said, tailor your CV to the job and make it look pretty.
I've been on one of those. The lady said, you shouldn't lie, but you also don't have to tell the truth.
You shouldn't lie, but you also should. No, okay, that sounds logical.
It sounds useful. Like when you have a wooden leg, you don't have to tell them that you have a wooden leg.
Just pretend that you don't have one.
Yeah, and then take the job that involves moving a lot of heavy stuff.
Naturally.
It's like, are you fit for this job? Yes, I am totally fit for this job. No disabilities that would stop you from being able to lift crates. No, none at all.
You're hired.
Well, to be fair, you lift crates with your hands, not with
Exactly.
your arms, not with your legs.
You'll lift
Now
with your
you're
legs or you'll
thinking-
break your back.
Now you're thinking like a good old reliable capitalist. None of this negative naysaying, like, no, like your legs don't work, you can't do this. Or no, you got your hands, and that's what you use. God damn it! It's a hands-on solution.
So that was my excellent adventure for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else had an exciting adventure to bring in the future?
Well, not into the future. Well, we bring it into the future, but there's something that happened in the past, and it involved me and Astra and a bunch of other duders.
Sexy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very sexy. It's something we dubbed ArtrixCon, and it was super exciting.
It was.
It was. So maybe Astra should tell us a bit about ArtrixCon because
Otherwise it's gonna just look like you are floating yourself.
Exactly.
I'm just-
Look at
I'm
me,
the most.
I'm Artrix.
I'm Mr. Artrix. Look at me. Can do.
And the weird thing about it was that was one of the running jokes throughout the ArtrixCon.
Can do.
Yes,
And
you really do love your Mr. Meeseeks.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Music is fucking amazing. Come on. So for the uninitiated, which is basically none of our listeners, because all our 2 subscribers knows rather well. Anyways, for those that are listening in August and beginning of September, some can't speak. Some of us went to the mysterious and faraway land that is Luxembourg.
Ooh.
It's not even a land.
It's no, because it's so
It's
small.
a city-state.
It's so small that if you jump far away enough, like you make a really big leap, then you'll end up in Germany, which is almost what happened, because we were at a river.
If you throw a rock, you just declare the war.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened, because we were at this campsite near hosting Luxembourg, and there was this river, and if you went into the river too far, then you'd be in Germany.
And then you become German.
Yeah, that too.
That is how it works.
Yep.
Although the weird thing about it was that even though we were right next to the German border, one of our buddies back phone was not able to get reception on his German phone.
That's because Germans don't know how to make technology. We all know this.
Apparently, even though they're known for, engineering and shit, they don't really have very good reception in border regions, it seems.
Do you know what could be funny? What if they intentionally used cell towers' ability to act as geolocators to check to see if your phone was over the border and blocked it?
Okay, what purpose would that be?
Just to be dicks.
They'd be like, it's like
It's for keeping the Germans in.
exactly. It's like, oh God. So that actually means that the whole the Wolfell thing, the whole DDR not being a thing anymore. That's actually just a big facade, because it's actually still going on.
Yeah.
Except
You are a German, you go over to border and some people at some kind of telecom are like, oh God, he went to Poland.
Yeah, but instead of just Eastern Germany, it's now the entirety of Germany. So they didn't get rid of the wall; they just made it bigger.
And we said,
But it is precisely the kind of thing a phone company would do, because the second you cross a border, you're now roaming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was more sinister than that, because
God.
we'd go into Germany for groceries,
pretty
which is a
sinister.
thing you can do there. It's like,
They
groceries
sell
are cheap.
groceries in Germany?
So
I
it's
know,
like,
right?
groceries are cheaper in Germany, so we're just gonna go there. It wasn't even farther away than going for groceries in Luxembourg. But you wouldn't have reception until we actually reached the town where the supermarket is, which was like 18 kilometers into Germany. So all the way up to that town, you would not have reception, even though we were well into Germany. So you'd wonder, okay, so how do people that actually live in this area deal with not having their smartphones? And all these people are not able to go to YouTube and watch cat videos. That sounds like
They don't
that
have
sounds
cat
terrible.
videos in their lives.
Exactly, they're missing out.
That's why Germans don't have sense of humor.
Yeah, they're missing out on cat videos. It all makes sense now. I know I shouldn't be bringing up Hitler, but it's probably what started World War II.
The lack of cat videos.
Exactly. Hitler was like in Austria, and he saw, and he was looking over the border into France, because that's how Austria works. There's no Switzerland in the way. So he was looking at France, and they were having cat videos, and he was so jelly.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that the time period you're referring to was 1930, and the closest thing to cat videos would probably be Mickey Mouse cartoons in black and white.
But I'm a millennial. I thought that smartphones and YouTube were something that we had all the time. I can't.
Artrix, they weren't in the future yet.
Okay. I'm starting to.
We only just got into the future yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So it feels.
That, Matt.
Yeah, it feels like an eternity. But you're right. It was only since yesterday.
Everything was black and white before the 21st of October.
Oh, God, it all makes sense now. It's like they implanted all these memories of like technology being a gradual process.
Well, they patched the universe,
Exactly, they patched it. So now we suddenly have all this technology. It's just that they implanted the memories to make it seem as if we always had it.
I saw the worst GIF that was also the best GIF. There was a guy.
Don't talk about it, or Artrix will have to implement it in the final cut of this podcast.
No, he'll have to draw it because it was awesome, awesomely awful. So there was a picture. It was a GIF of a DeLorean, the sexiest car, and a guy just outside it on one of those hoverboards. Oh God, the scooters with the mutated segways with the two wheels with no handlebars.
Oh.
And he was wearing a rift on his head, and he had there was a little drone flying behind him, and he had an iPhone on a selfie stick.
Oh, I've seen that one, yes, and he crashes into the DeLorean.
Of course he did. He was on a fucking hoverboard. Those things have got to be the stupidest invention I've ever seen. Tiny little powered scooters that you have basically no control of. They've been banned in England already.
Well, now that I think about it, I think it could actually retool the Back to the Future film in a way that it actually makes sense, in the sense that it's 2015. They just have to change around a few things.
Or they could just say it's a parallel timeline.
So,
or they can do that.
Panboy,
But then
you're saying that those scooters are basically like Roombas, but less deadly.
I'd say more. Well, yeah.
You would be surprised how many people died by Roombas. I mean, there's already 12 people who died because of selfie sticks.
Yeah, but those are fully deserved. I mean, that's Darwinism in action, baby.
But a lot of the other things in Back to the Future did happen, though.
Exactly.
Like heads-up goggles, heads-up displays. They exist.
Yep.
They've been banned for being intrusive, and nobody wants them. But they existed for, what, a year? And then Google was like, no, this is terrible.
It was also a matter of the technology didn't work as intended. Complaints I've seen is, for instance, the camera is a fucking stupid and retarded thing, because in theory it sounds really clever, like, okay, so you have this camera mounted to your vision basically, and you can snap pictures by just saying make a picture. But here's the thing,
Hello, computer.
So you want to take a picture of a thing, and the picture will always be like shitty because it doesn't really aim the frame all that well.
Yeah,
and it's shaky. Yeah,
camera.
and it's shaky and just dumb and stupid.
You know, if your head would be taking a picture of where your head was pointing, not necessarily where you're looking.
Exactly.
So half the time you're going to be taking a picture of nonsense.
Yeah. Whereas with a smartphone, you can actually take the time to aim and actually.
Well, that means that
shoot
we
a
just
picture.
need people. We need to teach people to use their heads.
I mean, even a smartwatch is more useful than
The smartwatch is smarter than this.
Yeah, exactly, because
What
smartwatch
I
actually
want-
does the shit that Google Glass supposedly does.
Just give me a wristband that lets me clip my smartphone into it, and it will look like a Pip-Boy, and I'll be happy.
I'm pretty sure you can actually buy that sort of thing already.
You can
I
build
can't
that sort of thing.
imagine that doesn't exist.
Right.
Just go to
I've-
Etsy. There's like 25 of them.
That
No.
sounds like a thing that it's impossible. Like the laws of the universe do not permit that this is not invented yet.
You will
Someone
make a
has
good point, but there's so many different versions of phones,
make the universal
and it's only going to be
mount
for the
or
popular ones.
to
So much fun
car-
base for such a
car-
bad game.
It could be akin to car mounts, where you buy like a basic kit, and then you'd have to buy a specific holder for your phone, which you then use combined with the holder.
Or
So
maybe
you-
I'll just find a leather worker and have him make me a custom one.
Or you can do that.
Yeah.
I was actually tempted to get a smart watch at times, but each time I remember.
You can learn how to work leather and then get some leather and make your own one.
God, right.
The possibilities are almost limitless. There's like 2 of them.
Weren't the Apple smartwatches like $3,000 or something absurdly expensive?
Yeah, but yes, it's Apple. that's the thing about those. It's Apple. You can actually get an Android smartwatch for about somewhere between 150 and 250 euros, I guess.
What is the point in developing something so niche and useless and shoving the price up so incredibly high that 90% of your market is just going to look at the price tag and say, that's retarded?
Isn't
Fuck off,
it
you're retarded.
the basic idea behind Apple?
Well,
Yes,
that's-
but I think even Apple users have got to have their limits. They have.
The reduction cables from Apple formats to actual formats, like Apple something to VGA or DVI, high HDMI, whatever, they cost about as much as you could use to feed a Romanian family for a week.
Okay. So, what's stopping you from buying? Oh wait, I just realized you can't buy Apple plugs on their own.
That's the thing. Why would you need an Apple plug? Well,
To make one of those cables.
You would need it because you bought a shitty Apple product that doesn't have those cables bundled in.
Yeah,
that's how they do it.
So yeah, that's why I don't buy Apple products, because for one thing, they got a lot of shitty proprietary connectors that only work on Apple products and that are being changed every 20 seconds.
Which is hilarious because the EU, and I think, well, maybe this was just the EU, but they said, okay, all you small electronics manufacturers, you need to decide on a form factor for your charge cables and stick to it. And everyone said, that's actually a pretty good idea. Let's do it. And now we have the micro USB-B, which is in everything.
Yep, it's freaking
except
great.
iPhones.
Also, I kind of hate it because it's micro USB.
Mm-hmm. But Apple were like, no.
Mm-hmm.
You have to buy our charger. Why? What's wrong with micro USB? And then you have companies like Samsung where it was like, okay, micro USBs is good, but sometimes we want to have more data bandwidth or charge faster. So we'll make this kind of double port, which you can shove a micro USB into, or our proprietary connector.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, then you stay proprietary, but still follow the standard. So Samsung, top marks of Samsung, stab Apple with a shoe.
Well, Samsung is pretty cool lately. I mean, they make good TVs, good everything actually. They even got a freaking Samsung microwave, so yeah.
It's almost like it's a company that makes electronics.
Almost.
And a large amount of them.
Also, I think they started out making fridges, and guess what brand my fridge is?
Bosch.
Yeah, Bosch. No, it's
God,
Samsung.
that's true. We both guessed the same fridge.
Is it one of those in-desert fridges?
It's a rave machine. No, that's your dishwasher.
Yeah, that's true. You open my dishwasher and it's like LEDs in it.
And it's all dubstep in it.
Yeah.
Why do you need LEDs in your fucking dishwasher?
Well, it is kind of
It's
useful.
the future!
Yeah, that too. It's the future, Panboy. Didn't you know? It's the faraway year of 2015.
Look, I know exactly why there's LEDs in your dishwasher. It's because of assistive technologies. And it's retarded. Because it doesn't help anybody to shove LEDs in your dishwasher.
Well, it's actually kind of nice to be able to see what's inside the dishwasher.
Do you not have lights in your kitchen?
Yes, but now there's also lights in my dishwasher.
It's kind of nice to see what you put in there.
You pull dishwasher trays out to put things in and out of them. You don't load them in situ because it's awkward. That's why the trays come out. It's already an assistive technology. It isn't improved by lights.
It looks blue and shit. It looks really cool.
It does as well.
It's a really cool looking dishwasher. I mean, I'm going to draw it right now so you can actually see.
I spent a year doing universal design in college and telling the lecturer on every point that I thought it was retarded.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, yes, this is for retarded people. Because it literally is. The concept of universal design is to make everything shit so everyone can use it. No matter how retarded they are.
The use
And I was
of
like,
what?
the use of whatever it is you're making. I was like, all of these, a lot of these features that make things more universally usable make them universally less useful. Universally less useful. Because they get in the way.
Yeah, this is why casual games exist.
Mm-hmm.
Filthy casuals, don't touch me.
Games that are made to appeal to everyone rarely really satisfy anyone.
Those that try to defend everybody defends no one.
Exactly.
That's a nice quote that Sargon brought up in one of his videos.
Yeah, basically United Nations are pretty useless.
That too. Speaking of United Nations, I
Well,
guess
the
this
mission
is
is
a
to
nice
defend
little
everyone.
segue. But to get back to the whole vacation thing, I suppose we shouldn't really be talking about this now in the sense that I have this video coming up.
You sort of were United Nations. Huh?
You're making a video, Artrix.
He already made a video.
Yeah, I just have to make it public. I sort of forgot to make it public, so I guess I'll make it public soon.
Oh,
It's
you.
basically 30 minutes of footage of Astra.
That too.
Oh. Okay. Did you guys make a porno while you were together?
No.
No.
Shame.
That was awkward. Anyways,
But were you
For you.
were you addressing Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn's glorious adventure to the UN?
that too, yes.
The
So-
UN West.
Well, that sure is the thing that happened. So yeah, here we got two of what are arguably one of the most currently influential women in gaming because they
Don't
for some
game.
reason they are not gamers.
They just happen to be the most influential women in gaming, even though they have nothing to do with games.
With hundreds, if not with thousands of people paying lip service. And listening to every word they say, raking in thousands of dollars, telling the entire planet just how oppressed they are, and that the entire internet should be catered to protect them, basically, or more specifically to ban all criticism, basically.
But
Because apparently the quote daily grind of having to deal with people disagreeing with you constitutes harassment now.
You mean the daily grind that Anita said is a routine for her?
pretty routine. Yeah, she was like, "Oh, the daily grind of having people criticize you and say you suck on the internet." I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's nice, Anita. People don't like you. That's what that is. They just don't like you." But do you know what the best thing about this whole UN thing was?
So do tell.
Okay, throughout all this, the UN published something called a cyber violence report.
It was very professionally written and
Yes.
very well sourced.
This report was so gloriously good that Zoe Quinn, one of these people that we think is completely batshit social justice insane, looked at this report and said, "Guys, this is shit."
Yes.
Zoe Quinn said that report was shit.
You know, the one that was
Yeah. The
Basically-
person that was running with the report, and the report was supposed to help her, and shit.
well, you see, if the whole UN thing would actually go through and disagreeing would become a crime punishable by banishment from the internet, then these people would have a problem. Because their entire business model seems to revolve around a perpetual state of Oh no, people disagree with me. Please donate to my Patreon /Kickstarter.
But you know what? If that did become law, we could probably just turn it around and say, we're male, and we feel harassed or women figures on the internet saying horrible things.
You
About men.
roboted pretty bad.
Please.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but let me just pause Steam. Okay. What I was saying was that if this became a law, we could probably just turn it around and say, well, these women are making videos attacking us personally for being men and saying all these negative and mean things about us on the internet. Please censor them.
Yeah, but here's the big error of your argument, Panboy, because it's what was it again? It's privilege and power, and you have privilege.
But they have the privilege and the power. They have the money. They have the status. They
No,
have the
Panboy, they're women.
I'm gonna.
You can't
stop
be
you
racist
there.
against women.
Shut up! The woman is speaking.
I know, right? I'm gonna stop you there and say, okay. What if a lady said that? Like, stop it! You're hurting the men's feelings.
Then she clearly has an internalized misogyny.
Several women are, and they're not being censored. Well, actually, they are. They got kicked out of
All the places
conventions
they've
and
been in.
stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
The honey badgers were blocked from all conventions in Canada
Yeah.
for having a Gamergate flag.
Wow. Okay.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And they're suing.
Oh, they are.
Okay, that's still going. By the way, they're still in the process of suing, and
Oh, Artrix, these lawsuits take literally years. We won't. We've all forgotten about it by the time.
We
the
won't
results
live
of it
to
comes
see the
out.
end of the lawsuit.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be on for a long time. But better yet was do you guys remember that woman who that diversity officer in the English college who was not letting men into her
Little
talks?
Girls Club.
Yeah. She said no men allowed, die to scum, all that nonsense.
Actually, no white people.
Yeah. She's currently being sued for discrimination by the government.
Yes.
Someone has presented it as a case, and it's going to courts now, which I just think is the greatest fucking thing. The diversity officer of college is being sued for being discriminatory against races
But
and sexes.
Panboy, you can't be racist against men.
Yes.
Or at least,
Mustafa.
yeah. Or at
Yeah.
least that's according
You
to
know,
her.
that's the
fucked up
thing I
logic.
like about her, that I'm a woman of color. I'm a woman of color. She's white as an American bread, but she has the same name, so she's a woman of color.
It's just such. What's the word for just a perfect alignment of everything.
Karma.
Well, one of the best words for these sorts of peoples that I've heard is hipster racist, basically. Because that's essentially what's going on. They seem to be perfectly fine with discriminating or judging people on their color, of their skin, and instead of just looking at the merit of their character. And that's the crux of the whole problem.
I just can't comprehend their stance that you can't be racist if you're a woman or a mixed race person or black. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Racism, their description of racism is some kind of crazy nonsense that I don't know where it came from. It's probably some Marxist philosophy.
That's the thing. It's rooted in a lot of pseudo-communist theory.
But real actual racism is extremely simple and very direct to explain. Is this person of a different race than me? Yes. I automatically don't like them. That is racism. That's it. It's no more complicated or sophisticated than that. And when you don't like people, you treat them differently. It's so... Oh, God.
No, but
How
if you ask,
do these people not understand the most basic meanings of words?
well, that's another problem they use. They will usually tell you the dictionary definition is incorrect and our definition is better.
I'm not talking about a dictionary definition. I'm talking about the real used, everyday, what the words mean definition.
Well, that's typically the dictionary definition because, you know, if you want to clearly communicate a concept, then, you know, we use words, and words have a fixed definition, so we can clearly communicate ideas.
No, Artrix, that is not the case, because of the following example. I am walking down the street, and it is a gay pride parade.
Yes.
And I see a gay person, and I look at that person and say, damn, you're freaking gay. And then they look at me and say, damn straight, I'm gay. And then we give each other beads, because that's what you do. Because it's fun. But the dictionary definition of gay is happy. It is not homosexual.
Pretty sure it also has a synonym for...
It's a synonym. It's not the original definition. The original definition of gay is just happy. The dictionary definition of gay is happy. It became a colloquial term for homosexuality. And now it's in the dictionary as a colloquial term for homosexuality, but it still doesn't, it's still not the dictionary definition of gay. The dictionary definition of gay is happy.
But it's also in there as a definition of homosexual because they changed the dictionaries.
Yes, what I'm trying to imply is the definition of a word is how the word is actually used. Whether the dictionary has caught up or not.
I mean, social justice warrior was added to the dictionary.
Not to the print dictionary.
Not because it's
not to a real dictionary.
The print dictionaries aren't updated as often.
But yeah, they put it in there. So the definition is kind of vague.
Yeah,
The
and
definition is the original one, not the actual one.
Yes, also the dictionary definition of social justice warrior is wrong.
It's like, yeah, someone who fights for social justice, though I think it says something like perceived social justice, so...
It's far too vague to be accurate.
Oh well, it's at least it's funny that it's even in there now.
And lovely terms from the furry fandom still aren't in the dictionary.
Okay, so you mean that one word that you see a lot in those sort of communities, you know, that word that will not be mentioned.
Exactly.
But
why can't we get our words in the dictionary, but these social justice idiots can?
Maybe
they are magical.
Even though you see a lot of people spewing a lot of grief over the fact that furries exist, I think you should be happy that it's not colloquial to the point that it needs a dictionary entry.
Like, the greatest thing was, did you guys watch SPJ Airplay?
A part of it, yes.
There was a
bomb thread.
There was that, but also at some point somebody mentioned furries, and Milo had to explain to Christina how
yes.
what furries were.
And she was like, what the fuck?
Oh, the look on her face was priceless.
That also kind of segues me into the following. I'm going to keep. It's a complaint. We got a first official complaint, not necessarily about Radio Rothingham, and in order to keep this confined to the argument, I won't mention the person making the complaint.
So it's...
Yes.
Wait, what? I didn't catch that bit. What?
Don't worry, it was hard to hear. I know what he said though.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
which is fine. No,
We got
you don't-
Anyways, this is all about the complaint. So let's look into it. The complaint is that that we as Radio Rothingham and as a group of friends are hypocrites.
Then right.
Because we
Of course we are. That's the charm. That's the charisma of the fucking show.
Okay.
because we spend too much time criticizing social justice warriors, even though that when I look specifically at Radio Rothingham, we don't even talk that much about SAWs on the Radio Rothingham.
I'm pretty sure I spent half of our first podcast talking about Pokemon.
Yes, which is such a, yes. Yes, you did. So apparently that makes us hypocrites because,
Okay, specifically, how are we hypocrites for talking about SJWs?
Well, his reasoning is that the SAWs, he doesn't consider himself to be one.
Okay.
So, but then he thinks that SAWs are annoying and really loud and obnoxious, and they give legitimate social justice movements a bad name.
This is all true, which is why we don't like them.
Yeah. So, by constantly talking about them, we are hypocrites because we are essentially doing the same thing as what SAWs do.
Oh, I get it.
So he's saying that we are pointing out these things we don't like and saying we believe these things are bad, and this makes us hypocritical because that's what they do.
Yes.
Right. See.
But there's a difference about that. We don't
Wait,
go
no.
spewing over the internet and starting to...
Astra, there is absolutely no difference between hate groups. We are hating SJWs, and they are hating everyone.
Okay,
Also,
Once again, they are more equal than us.
Personally, I see it as a big source of entertainment. I mean, most of the time, it's just a source of entertainment. It's funny because it's an endless source of really ridiculous shit that you can talk about.
Actually, Astra, I am sorry. I spoke over you there.
That too. So
I will allow to make your. I'll let you make your point. But Beyonce, she was the best.
Oh, you.
Oh, Anita, who is up in heaven, please forgive our earthly sins, for we have disobeyed the blah 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 whatever.
We are heathens.
We have desecrated the holy
Church of Season.
Yeah, something like that, whatever. So yeah, apparently we're hypocrites for speaking out against SAWs.
Oh dear.
Which is fun. Well, it's actually I see it like this.
Gesundheit.
It's actually a very common technique to more or less shame or to shame people into not speaking about social justice warriors themselves, so they can propagate their nonsense unhindered. The last thing they want is for you to scrutinize their ideas.
I think legitimately it's important that the counter arguments be put out there, regardless of how well formed or thoughtful the counter arguments are. Just saying no, I disagree, is quite often just it's enough to give a flavor that not everyone agrees with this. It's like it means that they're not entirely dominating the paradigm of conversation with their rubbish. Like if if people keep dictating to you what's right and nobody stands up and says no, then they win and they get to dictate what's right, and then that becomes the rules.
Exactly. That's what frightens me the most about the recent developments on the internet. The willingness of people to basically just throw away their rights as individuals, like, oh no, I don't really need free speech. Take it away. We don't need it. Which you see a lot of campuses these days. It's really frightening. And there are so many people who seem to be completely content with this development. Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. You can censor people. It's fine now. You can do that now. You can censor people to protect feelings. Yeah.
Which is just daft. South Park are doing some great episodes on all of this right now.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen all of them yet, but I've read up on the discussions about it, and they seem to be going against this whole trend right now.
This week's episode was about shaming tactics. You know how shaming tactics and having people filter your Twitter so that you don't have to see the shit, but they have to see the shit. Of course, it had Cartman try to employ people to shame his Twitter. Everyone said no. He ended up bullying Butters into doing it. And then more people had Butters shit filter their Twitters, and I'm sorry, Butters. I can just imagine what Cartman's Twitter looks like.
Well, it probably looks like his persona of the week. So, also in the stream right now, there's a picture of a rough approximation of my dishwasher and the amazing LEDs inside.
Now, see, here's the major problem with this whole design of the glowing in the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
The dishes are on the door because you pulled out the goddamn tray. You don't need a fucking light inside your dishwasher.
But see, they're still lighted by the LEDs inside, and they have a nice blue shine on them, so it looks cool.
No. The only thing LEDs are adding inside your dishwasher is higher production costs and faster wearing outingness, because now you have a plastic seal inside a what should be watertight box. That's another point of failure.
Except that LEDs
totally unnecessary.
I'm pretty sure that even if they short out or anything, we're talking about such low current thingies that
that's not the problem. The problem is the water getting out of the dishwasher through those holes and seeping into everything else.
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. It's
will.
got a really cool LCD display.
I hate you so much right now. And yes.
By the way,
I heard of the
God,
page.
there's people in the actual chat. I completely forgot about that.
Completely forgot about me.
There was this thing that happened with a game called Payday 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Payday 2 developers said,
I remember
we will absolutely, under no circumstances, ever have microtransactions in our video games.
Never.
Yeah, never, no.
Never ever.
I believe in the last major patch of Payday 2, they added microtransactions.
Oh dear.
I don't play the game. I have no idea what the microtransactions actually are. And honestly, myself, I don't care about microtransactions if they're completely cosmetic.
But supposedly they're not.
Yes. No.
In that case, that's shitty. That's shitty as shit.
I think I played Payday 2 a few times, and
I played it once.
yeah, one of the recurring themes is, okay, so you're going on a heist and you're supposed to open a safe. And you have this drill that takes forever to drill into the safe, and it breaks down, then you have to restart it all while...
And it makes the game
Cops
boring
are-
as fuck.
All the while cops are shooting at you, and you basically have to not die.
Well,
and
if the cops are shooting at you, then you're doing it wrong.
that too.
I heard.
Are you going to suggest that you can pay real world money to get a better drill?
Yes.
Huh.
That's
That
awful. That's legitimately the definition of pay to win.
that is pay
Such
to win.
advantage,
And that's
much
why
more.
there's so much criticism.
Money affecting gameplay is awful. That's just no. That makes the system no longer fair.
That's the thing about games. There's a sense of achievement, and if you just pour in some money to win, then that's why I don't really like these free-to-play games, because they essentially boil down to this very mechanic.
Depends on which games. Like League of Legends is strictly keeping with skins for real money, and that's it.
Okay,
If-
Art in
but
the
yeah,
chat
if-
is saying
Okay,
that
you can buy an XP boost, but that doesn't
Okay,
help
but
you. It just gets you to level 30 faster.
Okay. I guess I read the wrong thing or whatever. I think I read that was about the drills, but now I'm reading that it's about the...
Okay. About what?
Yeah, but if you can basically buy for guns that are better, then it's still sort of pay to win.
Kinda. Well, if you can't aim, then even a good gun doesn't help you.
That's true.
that there is truth in that, but still, being able to buy a higher fire rate gun or a higher damage gun or something, being able to buy anything that gives you an advantage over the enemy is, or over other players, I should
Yeah,
say.
that is definitely pay to win.
Like, okay,
It's-
you have games like Warframe, and they have a pay system as well. You can use real money to buy anything in the game that you can use in-game currency to buy. Okay, but you can also get everything in-game without currency, and they work hard to try and balance the stuff so that
doesn't
to a
work.
certain yeah, it doesn't. Well, no, anyone. If you ever have a game where someone can just dump cash and buy all the best stuff while someone else works hard to get it, yeah, that's a little unfair, but they are paying for that minor advantage. But you can still get that stuff in the game, you know. So it's not like you're locked out of it. If the stuff is restricted behind a paywall and you have to pay to have the same stuff as everyone else,
Yeah, that's
Then-
the case. That's the case of Elder Scrolls Online.
that forces you into an uncomfortable situation where you can't keep up with the power curve of your friends if they're all, buying shit that you literally can't get without paying. Because it's impossible. Like in Warframe, you can just put in another 5 hours of game, make the game money, or find the parts, and there's a big time investment in that game, or you can just spend money.
Also, I'm drawing one of my waifus right now.
Oh no.
Good for you.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
what's-
then... Oh, go ahead.
What's the worst thing about pay to win things and microtransactions? They're starting to find their way into into single player games.
Oh god. What, like DLC or?
No, not DLC. I hate DLCs, but this is even worse. You remember that bad game about assassins?
The one with the creeds.
Yeah.
Yes, and all the French. No, apparently you could upgrade your weapons into the game, and you could do this over the course of the game, as is usually done in games, or you could pay and have the upgraded weapons from the very start.
That just kills the game.
Yeah.
No, the game is
it does.
games are about slowly increasing your player character's power as you progress, and then getting to use that power to overcome odds. If you can just buy the power, that's why Hellgate London failed. Because there's the subscription service. Once you subscribed, you got to max level. I was like, okay, so where's the game? If I'm already max level, I can kill everything.
And notice that World of Warcraft did the same thing when you returned from years of inactivity. You got a free instant max. Well, not max level. Actually, you got boosted to the starting level of the content. Yeah, that's something different. That's okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of different because in World of Warcraft there is.
No, I thought it was the max level, and it was just the beginning of the content, which is okay, I guess.
Yeah, it lets you actually play the content you just bought without having to grind for however long it takes to get to level 50.
I was mistaken there.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a difference there, but even still, you still have the option of not taking that max level character. You probably did in Hellgate as well, but it's still just giving you maxing your shit out from the start just kills an RPG.
Yeah, where's the game? The game doesn't exist at that point. It's like, there was a case in Dragon Age. It was the first one, I guess. There was DLC that gave you an armor, and it was a very good armor. In fact, it was so very good that you did not need to exchange it for anything, and you just went through the game not upgrading once. You didn't even care about the quest rewards because you just had the best freaking armor in the game. Why would you even try to do something?
Man, video game design makes me angry.
Well, stop it. There's no there's no reason for it to.
They should stop the game design.
Yeah, just you know what? Since games make people upset, let's just ban video games because obviously they're offensive. And if the state of the world has learned me one thing is that we just ought to ban everything that people don't like.
You're going to go one step further and just make them illegalize games.
Well, let's take it one step further and just go for full nihilism, just end everything, because everything is ultimately pointless.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, why bother with this whole, why bother with podcast? But obviously we shouldn't do that. I mean, how else are we going to spread the nihilist mindset?
So we are just going to cut it at this point, and if you want us to continue, then you have to give $5 for each person on the podcast.
Yeah. So go to Patreon/Radio Rothingham, donate 20 euros per episode. That's €5 each, and then we can keep spreading our nihilistic message.
Here's an example of my first experience with DLC ruining a game.
Oh my.
Okay. So I get Saints Row 3 with all the DLC unlocked on a Steam sale or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you start Saints Row 3, the plot of the game, it implies that a syndicate has invaded the city that you rule, your gang, and they've hacked all your bank accounts. You have no money, you have no resources, and you're fucked, and you don't have shit. Okay.
So far, so good.
Yep. But the DLC adds the following: a large bulk investment into your bank account, like $500,000 monies or something. So you can just go to the first gun shop you find and just upgrade one of your weapons all the way. It's like, okay, so I've got end tier weapons already. I didn't have to work for that. That's grand. And then you find a garage, and you go through the weapon or vehicles you've stored, and you just get the sci-fi tank, because the DLC unlocked the sci-fi tank. So now you got the sci-fi tank, and you don't ever need a better unit ever, because that's the best vehicle in the game, because DLC. Of course, all the tanks make the police go on high alert immediately as soon as you drive out, so
it's very useful.
It is very useful, but there's also a bunch of other cars in there that don't make the DLC. But see, that's the thing. if you get this stuff at the beginning of the game, it kind of ruins the experience.
It's the same thing. Like if you get end game stuff at the start, then you can fuck around and you can do that for like a week when you're still entertained. But then once you stop being entertained, you did not actually play the game at all, and you are finished with it.
Art, when I got Saints Row 3, I got all the unlock packs. All of them at once. So I don't know what packs the shit came from. I just had it all.
Yeah, this is what happens when you buy a bundle or a gold edition or whatever. All those, and it's especially egregious with pre-order bonuses. Mm-hmm. All those piles of little shit get added, and sometimes it's just useless stuff that you don't even use, but suddenly clutter everywhere. Mm-hmm. And the best thing is that the shops that have those games are trying to push this idea that the pre-order bonuses are the best thing ever, and that you should buy just from them because you get a blue gun.
They're I think that is actually going out of fashion a bit because the games companies started to realize this is just making people really angry because they're not getting content by buying a game in a certain shop.
Let me correct you a bit. Yeah, the companies stop doing that, not Ubisoft.
Yeah, not Ubisoft because they're special.
Yeah, the way I see it, DLC isn't inherently bad as long as actually adds content to a game instead of just either unlocks content that was supposedly in the full version or
Artrix.
What?
In the long distant past, we had this magical word that described this kind of DLC with content. It was called expansion
pack. Yeah. So essentially, if you can change the word DLC to extension pack, then you know that you got some good DLC.
Yeah. There is good DLC out there. I'm not going to say it's all terrible, but it's just when DLC affects your starting game experience, that's kind of ruins it. Yeah.
That's basically cheating, but you have to pay money for it.
Yeah. I always remember when I first installed Morrowind, and I had actually this wasn't when I first installed it. I bought it again when it came as gold edition. And I installed Tribunal. Oh. And the first a few days into the game, my character went to sleep. Yeah. You get attacked by assassins. I was like, okay, they're scrubs because you're low level. They're wearing end tier armor.
Yeah, it's the second best light armor in the game.
It's like, okay, thanks. I just murdered you and got the best shit in the game. Yeah, and you came to me with it.
That expansion wasn't very balanced for starting players. Well, it made sense at the time because that was the base game. Then a few months after that, there was the expansion, and people were usually at high level at that point.
Yeah, no, Tribunal made perfect sense because it was the expansion was intended to be played when you were at max level. Well, there is no max level in Morrowind, but you were expecting
there's a decent
20
level.
up. Yeah. But if you had it, if you installed it on a Virgin game, you were gonna have a bad time. If you actually went to play the Tribunal content after being attacked by those assassins, and you're still level 2.
Very, very bad time.
But still, end tier armor the first night of the game.
Anyways, maybe we should see if there's one more minor topic that we can touch on before ending the episode, because we're almost at the 1.5 hour mark. So.
I think we are doing this thing. We are making these things too long.
That's why I'm sort of nudging to
hour and a half is too much, I think.
Astra, do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Because
no.
you've been.
I've been exceedingly quiet. episode. I know I just have a lot on my mind, but things that shouldn't really be shared publicly.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
That's that.
So
You're
you know
running
what?
a mafia scam out of your basement, aren't you?
Yes.
Probably.
I am Don
I knew it.
Kanoji. Wahaha.
So yeah, with that said, we should probably just end this episode. See it as kind of a subdued or not dead episode. So just a little, sign of life from us guys. So
And remember, like, share, and subscribe, and make us internet famous. Do it now. I want to. I want all those internet monies.
Hit the buttons.
hit all the buttons. So also, there we go. But it's still loading. This goddamn program is shitty, but I'm still using it. There we go. So here's the outro music, which means that the episode is ending. The music is happening. It's still happening.
And
You couldn't stop it. So yeah, you've been listening to Radio Rothingham. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing and liking the video and adding this to your favorites and subscribing us and following us on DeviantArt and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and all those other social media services that you may discover us on. We'll be back next week. We'll try to get back to our regular schedule because we've been kind of dead lately.
And it's your fault.
And it's all my fault, so I'll take full responsibility.
You made us go camping. It was
Exactly. We dare to do things like real life stuff and camping and shit. So I'm terribly sorry for that. Anyways, thank you for listening if you're still around, and see you guys next week for the next episode of Radio Rothingham.
And see you in the future.
See you in the future, which is now the past. We live in the past now.
In the future's future.